Republican Congressman Jimmy Patronis of Florida. Congressman, I appreciate your time as always. The numbers here are staggering. Medical examiners in Florida have linked nearly 600 deaths to this 7-OH and its related compounds since 2013. That's a crisis. I mean, far more than any other state. Why is this such a problem in Florida?
So, Marky, this isn't our first rodeo. Years ago, I was in the state legislature, and actually, Pam Bondi was the Attorney General of Florida. We filed legislation because it's a game of whack-a-mole. These synthetic drug producers will make subtle changes to the formula, and then next thing you know, they're legal again. So, I mean, it's a nonstop, never-ending battle. And yeah, it's as easy as walking up to the gas station counter, and instead of paying for your gas, you're buying drugs. Yeah. So again, I appreciate the leadership the Attorney General is showing on this, but it's an underground, drug economy that's living in the cracks of Florida law.
When you talk about the minor tweaks that they're making, and then all of a sudden it's legal again, who's authorizing that legalization?
So the manufacturer. So these are all imported synthetic drugs. They're changing a characteristic here, a chemical there that ultimately gets around. When we passed the law back in Florida, gosh, 10, 15 years ago, we listed a whole list of drugs that could not be used in these synthetic products and sold in Florida stores. Well, you know what? It just becomes a game of playing chemist. And these drug manufacturers will find another variation that creates another euphoric or even deadly concoction that is killing our kids.
Yeah, and then they're putting it in packaging that's appealing to children as well. It's just a whole detrimental domino effect, and deadly too. Let me play some sound, because last summer, former Deputy HHS Secretary Jim O'Neill warned about 7-OH and its availability. This is what he said last July.
We've seen a disturbing rise in reports of overdoses, poisonings, and emergency room visits linked to products containing 7-OH. These substances are often sold online or in convenience stores with no quality control, no dosage control, and no warnings. This is a recipe for public health disaster. Young people, veterans, and people who suffer from chronic pain or addiction are being misled into thinking that these are safe alternatives. They're not.
So, Congressman, have you heard anything from the new HHS leaders about possible regulation moving forward?
No, but look, I know that they are staying on top of this, as this was a 2025 newscast. But, as it happens in different parts of the country, there's different states have different laws that are more aggressive, more broad. But look, next time, just pay attention. Next time you go and you buy your gas, you go inside and maybe you grab a soda, look at the counter. I guarantee you there's going to be all these little colorful packets. They look about the size of a sweet and low packet, and there's usually dust or pills in it. And that's exactly what they're making available to our kids. That is unregulated. I mean, it's bad stuff. And unfortunately, you got to create a new law every time something like this comes out.
Yeah, it's just insane. I know parents everywhere, myself included, watching what comes next. Let me switch gears while I still have you, sir. I'd be remiss, of course, not to ask you about the latest with the war in Iran, the latest in dealings and negotiations. Are you pleased with the 14 points in this memorandum of understanding and where things stand at this hour?
Well, I think it's a start. Look, this is exactly why the president and vice president have the Pakistanis at the table. Iran is very fractured. It's dismembered. Look, they don't have a good structure of leadership. So you've got different factions of the party. You've got those that want to get along. You got those that want to go out and try to continue to react the way that the last 47 years of leadership did towards the Western world. So, I mean, they're not in a real consistent decision-making ability right now, because the emotions are high. So, as the president is pushing, he wants this thing over and done. He wants the straits open. He wants oil flowing, and he wants no nuclear products in Iran. Those emotions have to get settled, and it's just not going to happen overnight. I do appreciate the structure that's in place. I do think this is the right path to move forward with a denuclearized Iran.
In your words, it's a start, and we'll see what comes next, what follows. Congressman Jimmy Patronis, thank you for your time, sir, as always. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Mark.
We'll see you again soon. All right.